lead the pledge since she was leading.
That's a good idea. Dawn, you want to lead us in our invocation tonight?
Father, we thank you, Lord, for this day. We just ask, God, that as we gather to discuss the business of the city, that you'll lead and guide us in everything that we do. Lord, keep us safe as we return home. God, thank you for the many blessings that you give us this time of year. In Jesus' name, amen.
Misty, you want to lead us in the pledge?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, we'll go ahead and convene our meeting tonight.
Since Marty's here.
Marty's here. Start with roll call. Misty Cottle.
Here. That's what it's like.
Jeff Upton.
Here.
Jan Throckmorton.
Here.
Marty Lindaberry.
Here.
John Collins.
Here.
Dina McKnight.
Here.
Don Rollins.
Here. Early.
Anthony Foster.
Here.
Our city attorney and city clerk are both present. The first item on the agenda is the adoption of the agenda.
I make a motion we had approved the agenda as it is.
Perfect.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor say yes.
Yes.
Those opposed, no. That motion carries. Next is the approval of our meeting minutes from November 12th.
I make a motion that we approve them as they're written.
Second?
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor say yes.
Yes.
Those opposed, no. That motion carries. Next is our public forum. Is there anyone who would like to address the council tonight? Hearing none, we'll close the public forum and move straight into our business reports. We'll start with our planning commission. We don't have a representative tonight. We're missing a few people tonight. Planning commission did pass one lot split and one lot line adjustment at their last meeting. I believe that's correct. Is that right, Chad?
Yep.
Okay. They currently have no new business on their agenda for this month, so we'll see if anything comes in for that. Next is a court report. Tracy?
Well, my report's short and sweet because I'm having a problem with my case management system. And they're trying to get that fixed for me, so I don't have disbursement numbers or anything like that. I do have the, I put the reports on your desk for the citations and things like that that were issued. And they are working on it, and hopefully we will be able to send out money tomorrow. Hopefully.
Any questions for Tracy?
It sounds like she doesn't need any questions.
I think she's got enough of her own right now. Next is a library report. Marie?
Alright, so our numbers are down this month, which I was kind of expecting because we were closed for a week while we investigated a smell in the library, which turned into a remediation project in the bathroom. So we're in the middle of that, but hopefully that'll be done soon. But we still have one working bathroom, so we're all good. So you can see that even though some of our other numbers are down, our story time numbers have stayed high, which has been really exciting to see. We are doing a cookie exchange, so if anyone is interested in trying some different types of Christmas cookies, we're going to have a cookie exchange on December the 20th, and it'll start at 4 o'clock. Coming up in January, we're also partnering with the school. The art teacher for middle school and high school is going to be doing an art show at the library starting on January the 17th. So we're going to have like a little opening party from 4 to 6, and we'll just have some crafts out too in case any other younger siblings or anything, you know, anyone comes along who would like to participate. And that showing will be available to see in the meeting room through February 1st. And yeah, does anyone have any questions?
Do you have all your escape room things filled up?
We don't yet. So if you'd like to give the library a call, our theme this winter is Willy Wonka.
Really?
Yeah.
How many on the council have been through an escape room?
I haven't, I've always wanted to, but I haven't done it yet.
So there's 8 signups, Marie.
There's 8 signups. Are they all together? I recommend doing it with multiple people at the same
The
time.
14th.
You guys should try it.
No, no interest.
She's not gonna lock you in there, John. You don't have to be scared.
We don't actually lock people in. It's against the law, I'm pretty sure. So we keep the door unlocked.
Yeah, think about doors.
Sounds like a good reason for an argument.
It's sort of like having a skeleton key master.
Yeah. They're
Uh,
amazing though. I've heard that they're really good.
They're fun. You guys should try it.
Yeah,
Definitely try it.
so I can get Mike to go do with me to do.
I think my family still holds the record. So they give you something to shoot for.
Like you're the fastest to get out
Yeah.
for what?
Or maybe the longest. I'm not.
That was what I thought.
Yeah.
Most clues needed.
How long is it before you tell everybody to get out if they don't figure
Well, we
it out?
usually give people like a time limit. Usually we shoot for like 45 minutes,
Uh-huh.
and then we have like a short grace period because we need time to reset the room. So
Okay.
yeah.
So Marie, real quick, at Breakfast with Santa, there was a fantastic turnout. I don't know if you've got a report on that or not, but
So I don't have numbers yet. I'm waiting. So this was my first year not being the craft person because we have a new children's, and she was doing the crafts, and I heard everything was fantastic and went wonderfully.
there were more kids at the library booth than there were to sit on Santa's lap. So, fantastic.
Well, Lindsay's wonderful, so
Yes,
we're
she
really
is.
happy with her.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, Police Department, Chief Halliburton.
Alright. Good evening. For the month of November, we had 255 calls for service. We took 29 reports, issued 25 citations, versus 40 warnings, served 30 warrants, 1 felony arrest, and 2 misdemeanor arrests with 1 property complaint. And those 255 reports, calls for service is down from 420 this time last year. That's all I have on documents. I'm sure you're all aware of the what the trial turned out to be. So, I won't go into that too deeply, but so hopefully that will spearhead or cut off anything else that the city might have to deal with concerning that case. So.
Any questions for the chief? No? So Chief and Ellie came and served breakfast with me Saturday morning.
Yep,
Had a good time.
delicious sausage. I've never had sausage that good before.
Which is crazy. Everybody was saying that. And it was, they grabbed it from Harps, I think, the night before and cooked a lot of it. But
Yeah,
it was good.
I don't cook much at home, but I would buy a couple of packs of that. And
Go to Harps and ask them which one it is.
Yeah.
oh, I took a picture of the package.
Oh.
Serious.
I'm serious about my sausage.
So is Riley's car 10-8?
It is for right now. We still have an appointment to get it striped up, but it's technically an unmarked, fully equipped vehicle. We're dropping it off tomorrow to have a radio installed. So it'll, right now he's working off his mobile.
And then it'll be 10-2.
I'm sure you can hear it now.
What is 10-8?
It's in service.
In service.
Service.
10-2 means you're coming loud and clear.
10-4.
Yeah.
There you go, got the 10-4 now, there you go.
See, I didn't even notice it. But
Thank
yeah,
you, Chief.
it's fully equipped, cages, everything, just no markings, lights, sirens, everything, has everything on it. Just, we have to, because we had some vehicles go down, with some costly repairs, We just got, the K-9 vehicle back, we got another Tahoe that's down. Hopefully we'll get that back by the end of next week, I think. So we're kind of just shuffling around right now. So we had to pull it back because we needed it.
Okay, thank you, sir. Public Works is next. Isaac is MIA tonight. He did fix several water leaks.
It
Hopefully,
looks like several.
hopefully we have that under control. He's made progress down in front of the bank. It's hard to say good progress, but with the leaks he's fixing, I think he would consider it good progress. So that's gonna look really nice once he finishes up that project down there. Any questions about anything on Public Works? Okay. Next, Parks Report, Director Harrison.
So, it's been a slow month for us, so I don't really have anything specific to report. I do want to thank everyone that participated in the Christmas parade and the tree lighting and the festivities, especially the vendors and the churches and those that came and participated. I thought it was another good success. Beyond that, I don't have anything. But I will take questions if you have any.
20 seconds. 20 seconds.
It was good.
Chad, I met someone for the first time yesterday who is not a resident of West Fork. But I told her, she asked where I was from. And she said, your 4th of July fireworks, what your city does is spectacular. And I was like, oh, okay, well, thanks. I'll pass that along to the guy in charge. So I'm passing it along.
Well, that's another event that I get a lot of credit for, but I get a lot of help, and it takes it all, I can assure you, but it is a good event.
It was nice to be known for
Yes,
that.
something like that.
Very good.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, well, I think we kind of got the ball rolling on the Christmas parade and events, some of the other towns as well that weren't doing it or maybe not doing it. So,
What was this year? 7? 7 years? 8 years?
I have no idea. We tried to think about that. I know we were doing it before COVID, because the COVID year we did shut down and not do it.
Yeah, 7 or 8 years.
Yeah,
Anyway.
I'd have to look back over some to get
The
that.
crowd was unbelievable.
I thought it was a great
So,
crowd.
that-
The weather helped, I think. We
Huge
had a good night
crowd.
for it. But we were competing with the tournament and the ball games at school as well. So overall, I thought it was a good event.
And you never know it because I've never seen so many kids.
And the parade was, we had a lot of people
Mhm.
participate in the parade.
Yeah,
That was
they did.
awesome.
Yeah, we had 30
Y'all's float was
plus.
awesome too, by the way.
30 plus. I think Fayetteville's parade had 40. So
Nice.
that's a lot. I would say that's a lot of
Nice.
participants.
Well, 8 of them was one
Sure.
float.
We'll take
That's
it.
okay.
We'll take it.
They were all in.
That's
Well,
okay.
and everyone in it, I thought, really put some effort
Yeah.
out
When you were
there.
talking
Yeah.
about John.
The vans. all the
Masters of
vans.
Disaster.
Masters
Yeah.
of Disaster.
Yeah.
They had 8 vehicles in it.
Yeah.
But
I liked it.
it was
It was
awesome.
cool.
Okay. Yeah, it was
I
good.
think the first one was 2018. If my pictures are
7.
Okay.
So.
correct.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you, Chad. Next, the moment one of us has been waiting for a long time.
Trying to hold your excitement.
Chief Myers.
The last one.
Christie's not here.
Yeah, exactly. So we got our new truck in. I don't know if you all got to see it at the parade. I hope you did. Money well spent. It's a beautiful truck. So I hope you got to see it. Really, other than that, all I've got to say is just a very heartfelt thank you to the council and the mayor, all the department heads, the city employees. I couldn't have been a better place to work. So thank y'all so much for all you've done for me.
You'll be missed. Yep.
Mhm.
Thank you, Mark.
That may be up for debate. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
You'll miss us too. You know.
Oh, absolutely. That doesn't mean I'm coming back.
No, I know that. Yeah, well, we already got another sucker. I mean, gee.
Any questions for Mark?
No.
No? Okay.
I just hate going out spending all that money.
Yeah.
I'll try my best.
So I do think that it's worth noting that the fire department is on course to set a record year this year, the year Mark goes out.
Yeah.
They also bought a new truck the year Mark goes out. So going out with a bang, but
Leaving it in good shape.
that's right. And so I think it deserves a round of applause for Mark. Congratulations, sir. And so I was going to save this for the mayor's comments. I may bring it up again just to keep John here a second longer.
You
But
probably will.
do not forget, there's a drop-in retirement celebration for Mark December 19th from 4 to 6 at the fire department. So you'll be there, right?
Depends on what crew you bring to eat.
Okay. Finance report, Christie is out sick. Any questions concerning any of the budget items?
I think we covered those pretty good in our budget meeting.
Okay,
Sewer's looking pretty good though, money-wise, compared.
it is, isn't it?
Did we get that pump?
We got the pump in, we have not received any adjustments yet. Yeah, but yes, the pump is in and operational.
Okay. Fine.
We don't have any ordinances tonight, so we don't need a procedural motion. We have no old business. New business. We have Wayne Mays with us tonight from the Hammer Seed Council. Come on, sir. He has put some information on everyone's desk.
These brochures are also available. Anyone else would like, this is what the council members got related to my program. Thank you, Mayor. I appreciate the opportunity to come.
Yeah, I'm glad you came back to see us.
Right, it was good to see old friends here that have heard give their reports before. I don't know if I need to do this now. I did meet with the mayor a couple of times about my project, and he's consented to let me speak to him. I'm Wayne Mays. I'm a retired AT&T employee. I'm from Central Arkansas originally, and my wife and I decided we really liked Northwest Arkansas and moved up here. This is the third time we've lived here. I had various assignments in Northwest Arkansas with AT&T, and then a few years ago I was in charge of the Siloam Springs Chamber, about 13 years as president and CEO. So I have a lot invested in Northwest Arkansas. I love the area, glad to be here, and I particularly enjoy all the small towns, yours and others along Highway 62. I have left at each of your council members' place a brochure about our project. It's called Heartland Advanced Medical Manufacturing Regional Cluster. Obviously, when you have a name that long, you have to compress it into an acronym, and that's what HAMR-C is, which is a bit of an odd-sounding name, I guess, but that makes it easier to refer to it. This program actually is my attempt to work for you. I'd like to work for you. I'm retired from AT&T, but I am working for the Fayetteville Chamber part-time, and this is a project that Steve Clark came up with. Most of you are probably familiar with Steve Clark. He was the president and CEO for about 15 years. He just retired last month, and so now I'm just we've got a new lady named Jennifer Irwin, who is our president and CEO now, and I'll be working for her, but just carrying forward the idea and the concept of HAMR-C. We have the ability, because of the experience of myself and a couple of others on the chamber staff, to provide for you marketing opportunities, abilities, to advocate for you, to provide economic development information, prospects, and also training. And the training itself is free. There's a program through AEP SWEPCO called Energizing Economic Development. I don't want to offend anybody here, but I would suggest that unless you've made a real study in your career of economic development, that you probably could stand to learn a bit more about what goes into the economic development and the health and vitality of your community. And that's true in every small city up and down the area. You look at the calendar, or I'm sorry, the map on the brochure, you see that our main feature is Highway 62. Elkins is technically not on 62, it's on 16, but anyway, if you start on the east with Elkins and travel west on 62, you come through your town in Greenland, and then Farmington, Prairie Grove, Lincoln, Stillwell, Oklahoma, Westville, Oklahoma, and then Tahlequah, Oklahoma. So those communities are the ones that we focus on, in particular the three counties, Arkansas and Washington County and Arkansas, and then in Oklahoma across the line, we're in Cherokee and Adair counties. I can tell you that more so on the western end of the Haverseed corridor, the words rural and historically depressed tend to take effect. Don't apply to you. Certainly even the reports we've heard tonight indicate your city is doing well. But those communities, they are rural because they're not close to any larger city. And they also, particularly on the Oklahoma side, as you know, the 12 counties, northeast counties in Oklahoma are some of the most depressed and some of the least functional in Oklahoma. It's not a coincidence, probably not a happy coincidence for the Cherokees, but those 12 counties comprise the Cherokee Nation. And you know about the Trail of Tears and all those kinds of things, and they've had problems for years. But they have joined Hamerseed, and one of our partners, Principal Chief Hoskin, sees the value and potential of jobs that we could create along this corridor, and his people, he says, would commute to those jobs. So let me cut to the chase. We want to try to bring medical manufacturing facilities to the area. Why would we do that? A couple of reasons. One, not even here, almost none here. If you do some research, you'll find there's just almost no medical product being produced in the area. And then the second one is the complete explosion of the healthcare industry in northwest Arkansas and northeast Oklahoma. You all know what Alice Walton is doing. It's in the paper virtually every day. She's building a whole health institute, a hospital. You know that recently UAMS decided to come up out of Little Rock and build an orthopedic facility, and that's being built right now over in the west side of Springdale. We've got the new Children's there. Children's Northwest has been in that area. Washington Regional is doing great. Has won quite a few awards recently for quality of service, etc. On the Oklahoma side, the Cherokee Hospital is it's a treasure. It's a beautiful facility. It's a very large. It's new. And if you know anybody who has one of the Cherokee nation cards, you know that they will travel from here and almost anywhere else in this area to get to that facility in Oklahoma. And the reason is because it's a high quality facility. So those two factors then lead us to believe that there's a very, very good market to develop in this area for medical manufacturing. And I brought with me tonight just one sample of the kind of things that we expect these companies that we're dealing with to make. This is no surprise to anybody, a stethoscope. And it's a titanium, and it's high quality. This is the kind of thing that can be made with a minimum number of parts that can be shipped in from around the country and around the world. And then, as you can see, the size of this box, not very big, is something that's fairly easy to ship out. So this is the target area we're looking for. We're not looking for a facility large enough to make burn beds. That's obviously would take quite a bit of space. But things like thermometers and stethoscopes and hospital linens. One of the things we found out from the Cherokee Nation Hospital is that a big problem they have is keeping a supply of linens, quality linens available. And that's one of the areas that we want to focus on and bring companies that have been their vendors and are their vendors closer to them from the East Coast, West Coast, and in between. So that's the reason we came up with the name Heartland. That's where we are. We all know there's some values here, ethical and moral values in the Heartland, and we also know that quality of life and cost of living are both good. We really have a lot of things to be proud of, but I think one of the biggest things we have to be proud of is we have some small towns that are independent. They have quality local government, and I say that every one of them, not just yours, that government that people participate in and involved in. And a real shining star is your schools. We have very good schools along Highway 62. I was visiting with Superintendent Unger today, and we were chatting about your schools and how you're trying to focus more on computers now and electronics and other things. So workforce development is going to be an important thing if we're going to bring these kinds of companies in, and we're going to provide jobs for the young people coming out of your high school. So they have a lot of initiative. There are entrepreneurs there that we may not even know about who have ideas for products that we'd like to produce in the area. So what we want to do is help you, those of you that are parents and grandparents, to see the opportunity the community has to grow, to invest in an organization that will be working for you to bring these kinds of medical manufacturing jobs to the region. Now, I do not intend to come in here and make promises that I can't keep or somebody else couldn't keep. So I'm not going to promise you that within 2 years we're going to have a medical manufacturing facility in this community in West Fork. Now, I didn't promise that to Lincoln either. Mayor Doug Hutchins says, why not? Of course, if you know Mayor Doug, you know why. He's retired from Baxter Labs. He thinks we ought to just be able to get them to move over here. Well, be that as it may, we're not going to make promises we can't keep. What we are going to promise is that if you will join our organization as a community member, your mayor will have a seat at the table. Now, Ernie Penn was the first guy. He said, I want to have a seat at that table. Farmington was the first town to join. He said, what do I need to do to be a member? And it's pretty simple. We have basically 3 requirements: either land, where a company can build a facility and set up and produce their product, or a building. If you have a vacant building where the utilities have already been run, then it's easy for a small fledgling startup entrepreneurial company to come in, set up in that facility with a low cost, startup cost, start making their product, selling their product. And the 2 that I've talked to already that have this interest in doing this have both said, we'll be loyal. If a community will take us in, put their arms around us, help us get started, either with some land that's available or a building where we can build our product, start shipping it out, we'll be loyal. When it comes time to buy that 5 acres and build that $1 million building, that's where we're going to do it. And besides that, we'll already live there, so we don't want to move. So it's kind of it's a situation where we can develop an opportunity for people to get a business started and move ahead. One last thing I'll say quickly is that we are strong supporters of entrepreneurialism. Entrepreneurs are a growing segment of our environment these days, of our economy. You probably are familiar with Startup Junkie. Jeff Amrine in Fayetteville has that. That's actually a worldwide known organization that helps entrepreneurs that have an idea or a project. They'll have pitch contests in which they come in, kind of like I'm doing, for 5 minutes and pitch a product and say, that's it, I hope you'll buy. And then they say, So they're looking for investors, which is what we're kind of looking for our program. But small businesses and entrepreneurs and mid-sized businesses that produce these kinds of medical devices are the kinds of companies you like to have in your town. That's the kind of economic development growth that you'd like to have. No smokestacks, no bad water coming out. That is something I told the mayor I will promise. We get an opportunity to bring a company in and they're saying, well, it's there's going to be a little bit of this runoff over here and contaminate your groundwater, but we'll take care of it. And our answer to that, I think, is going to be no. Your community is going to have the opportunity to say yes or no if we bring a prospect to you. I'll finish up by saying to you that there are some prospects right now. I've been working on this 2.5 years. I've come across some prospects, both directly and indirectly, that are interested in our area. And I'll have to tell you this, and this is the one where, why would a salesman want to tell you about the bad side of his product? Well, that's because a good salesman will do that. I'm here tonight because I'd like to get your community to join, but I've had 3 prospects recently, and I've dealt with the communities of Farmington and Lincoln and Stillwell because they are members of our Hammercy organization. You value loyalty, and that's where we are. We're loyal to our members. I will say this, I've had a prospect recently called Project Circle, came to us from the Northwest Arkansas Council, and the qualifications that they wanted were not available in our Hammercy cities. Consequently, I called your mayor and the mayor of Greenland, and it turns out that you have some parcels of land that appear to meet the qualifications of that company. It's a code name, Project Circle. The mayor doesn't know what it is. I don't know what it is. We just know that it probably would be a good project. They're saying they would start out with 100 jobs and then growing within about 3 years to 200 jobs. And they're piping, plastic piping, large volume plastic piping is kind of their main product. They would ship in the ingredients and make the pipes and ship them back out. Now, that's why I'm talking to you tonight, because I'd like to see you appreciate the fact that if we can't get one of these prospects into a Hammercy town, we want to get them somewhere in the region because that'll still benefit the Hammercy towns. We got a business here. Folks would commute here from Prairie Grove and from Farmington and the back way from Lincoln if they needed to. I want to focus on 3 of the investors we have. We have 5 investors. 3 of them are very well known to you. Bank of Fayetteville, Arvest, and Washington County. All of those 3 organizations, they've invested in your community. You're a part of Washington County. Your county judge is concerned and interested in your economy. He's invested in this program because he sees some value. Bank of Fayetteville and Arvest Bank have built brick and mortar facilities in your town. They're committed. They're here to stay. They're not going anywhere. And they have invested in our program because they see some value there. Now, I want to finish up by asking if you have any questions
You have a copy of a summary sheet there that gives you a bit of information about how we got started and where we're headed. You have the brochure that tells you the kind of things, reshoring that Walmart's investing in, interferences in the shipping lanes around the world have created all kinds of problems. But reshoring is still a real thing, and Walmart's doing a lot of that. And we're in Walmart's backyard, so we can only benefit from that. For you council members, as I've already said, land and or a building. It's not both, it's and or. And then $1,000 a month is what we ask. I didn't hear the chief say how much he paid for that new fire truck, but I doubt that it was less than $12,000, which is what the annual investment for Hammerseed would be. That's my pitch. I'm through. If you have questions, I'll be glad to answer them. Yes, ma'am.
Did you say 1,000 a month or 1,000 a year?
A month.
Yeah, 12,000.
Oh my.
12,000 a year.
And it's a for-profit business that's coming.
No, ma'am. No, we're not for profit. Our organization is simply trying to help these communities run. Yeah, we collect those dues. We have them in a fund. We're collecting the fund. At some point in time, when we get a prospect, a community is going to say, "Oh, the prospect wants us to run utilities out to the land, water, sewer, that sort of thing." That's where some of that money that's what we'll use it for. We're building up that treasury, that fund, in order to be able to help the city provide incentives. Excuse me.
Businesses coming in are for-profit.
Oh, yes, they would be, sure.
Okay, so they want us to give the land, and they're for-profit, right?
They haven't asked you for any land yet. They might, and that's why I said there'd be some incentives involved. And that's where there's a board of 8. Every mayor has a seat at the council, so your mayor would be a member of the council or the board. And if the board decides that they want to spend some of the Hammerseed money to help City A or City B or City C secure some land, then they can do that. We have about $160,000 right now, and it's growing. So that's would be available to have any community, and as long as the mayors have a seat at the table, then they say, if it's good for Armington, then it's good for the rest of us. We'll help them. We'll help them out with their incentives. Yes, ma'am. Other questions?
No.
All right. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Wayne.
If your city attorney and you can draft up whatever the appropriate document is, an ordinance or resolution or whatever. I know most of the time city councils need 2 or 3 readings of these things in order to get them passed, and I can totally understand it. Need me to come back, please let me know.
Will do.
Thank you very much for your time tonight. Merry Christmas.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Something we need to be aware of, be thinking about. Real quick, I'll share something that Wayne did not about the area. So there's changes in the area that we may not be aware of, but the old C4 has changed hands, and they're doing some testing out there. Make sure I get this right.
Extremis is the name of the company. It's an AI company.
So they're doing like anti-jamming research.
Military applications for anti-jamming.
Something else that's happening, and they are actually, so the company at C4 is actually partnered with, I say partnered, they're going to Lincoln and buying supplies from a dealer in Lincoln. So that's going on. The National Guard, I think it's the National Guard,
yes,
are looking at moving a helicopter wing up to Drake Field to do training out of. So there's some things in this South Washington County that are changing. There's some what's the word I'm looking for? There's some commerce that's starting to happen here that we haven't seen, especially when we talk about the group out at C4. That's something completely novel to Washington County as a whole. Doing AI research on that type of thing. So something to keep in mind. It's an interesting opportunity, interesting time for some of these smaller cities that may be getting some of that, some of those resources. So we can talk about it more in other meetings as you guys want. I think Wayne's contact information's on there if anybody wants to reach out to him directly and get more info. So We'll move on to item 2, Resolution 2024-10, the approval of our 2025 budgets.
Make a motion to approve it.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second to approve that. I do want to point out that Christie did make, I don't remember who brought up the interest.
I did.
You did? Okay. That was a great catch, Jeff.
She caught it.
No, I think it was you. So Christie did check into that. That was a typo. Due to that, there was a slight change in the budget from what we were looking at the other night that left us budgeting $26,000 out of reserves to make up for that difference that we saw on, so, streets, that was on street department.
I can't remember what it was on.
It was on streets, where we had the dump truck and the
I think it was.
snow plow. We left both of those items in there, went to the reserves to grab 26,000 to balance everything out.
We didn't take the snowplow out.
No.
I couldn't take the snow plow out.
I'm getting a dirty look from us out of the room for some reason.
So if you guys are good with that, we can move forward on that budget recommendation. But I did want to point that out before we.
Well, how much are we putting in reserve from this year? We're quite a bit under budget.
I think some of that went to a fire truck.
It did. So that makes it look a little off. So it currently looks like we're on course to put $3,000 in reserves. That's not
But that
accurate.
paid for the fire truck.
Right,
Yeah.
right. So if you look at, I don't know what page this is, it's right after Mark's report, the Treasury Summary Report.
Yeah.
Starting on line 20 of the general fund, you'll see our general fund is negative $57,000. That's due to the fact that we pulled $200,000 out to buy that property, that 3.5 acres. We pulled $200,000 out, but that fund is only negative 57, so we've made that up. And then we pulled 179 out of reserves for that fire truck. So I can't do that math in my head to tell you what we would be putting in reserves out of our budget, but it is a significant number, John.
Yeah.
Marty, you smart enough to do that in your head?
No.
Okay. Did that answer your question, Dina?
Sure.
Okay. So we have a motion and a second. Is there any other discussion on that motion? No? Okay. All those in favor of passing the 2025 budget with that change, say yes.
Yes.
Those opposed, no. That motion carries. Item 3 was to approve the contract with Mineco for decommissioning that step system at Homestead. We did not get that contract in time, so we're still working on that. Last month, you guys voted to give me authority to negotiate that contract once it comes in, so this is really just housekeeping, trying to get that contract before you. Hopefully, we'll have that next meeting, so since it's on the agenda, would someone make a motion to table that? We have a motion.
I'll
I'll
second.
second.
Motion and a second to table item 3. All those in favor say yes.
Yes.
Those opposed, no. That motion carries. And item 4, review and approve the financial policy and procedure manual. That's in the back of your packet. If you guys remember, Christie did a project on this at the training that she did through the state. And so I think we mentioned at the time that she won the award for best project in the state with this. And so she's taken steps so that we can implement this within our own city. Tom has looked at this to make sure that there's nothing out of line there. So we do have that for consideration tonight. Are there any-
motion to pass it.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second to pass it. Are there any questions concerning that policy?
I really like
Clear.
it.
Yeah, I thought it was well
Yeah.
Yeah.
written.
Yeah.
I thought it was really good.
It it's actually a really good policy that more of the small towns should take notice of and implement themselves, just to help with our audits, to help with our financial procedures, and transparency as far as that goes. Anything else? Okay, we have a motion and second. All those in favor say yes.
Yes.
Those opposed, no. That motion carries. For mayor's comments, we've talked about Chief Myers' retirement celebration, December 19th, 4
No need to
p.m.
bring it
to
up
6
again.
p.m. Big shout out to everybody that was involved and who attended the parade. That was a great turnout, as Jan mentioned. I wish we had some way to collect data on that, because we had a great turnout. And then also wanted to thank everyone on the council who was able to attend the bridge meeting that the Arkansas Highway Department put on last week. We had a great turnout. The last I heard, I think there was over 120 people showed up for that, which really surprised me that we had that kind of turnout, but,
We're gonna have a nice looking bridge.
it is, it's gonna be nice. And I think it's gonna be, it's needed. It's gonna bring a little pizzazz to town, I believe. So we, I think that most of the citizens' questions and curiosities were answered down there. That group that RDOT brought up was very knowledgeable, very willing to answer questions. So I'm excited about that. The time frame was sped up from the last I'd heard on that, so I think that's a positive as well.
Up to,
Do what?
what was it sped up to?
2026.
2026 start date, 2027, end of 27, possibly a 28 completion date. But they were gonna build it, keep both lanes open while the construction's going on. Something Chad and Isaac and I had talked about prior was, once that's complete, the walking path's on the north side of that bridge. And so we talked prior about bringing that walking path and having it circle under the bridge back into the park instead of crossing the road right there. So that's still a couple years down the road, but Misty will still be on the council at that time. She will remember that when we get there. So that's on you, Misty. Okay. With that, John, I'm out of comments.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion and second to adjourn. All those in favor say yes.
Yes.
Those opposed, no. We are adjourned.
Merry Christmas, everybody.